Hi everyone, thank you guys for tuning in. For those who are new, hello, and for those who have been here before, hey. I wanted to come to you guys on a more serious note because it's just something that I think that is good for me to talk to other people about, and another way to show you guys that you are not alone as a student, not alone as just an individual, period. So I do apologize to everyone because I did say that I was going to upload at a certain time and things just did not go as planned, mainly because I like filming when I'm happy, not filming, excuse me, when I'm down or when my emotions are a wreck. And that's pretty much what's been going on for the last week and a half. And surprise, I deal with anxiety and depression. As much as I like to pretend that I'm okay and there's really nothing going on in my life, for me not to spiral out of control and to go back into the deep depression that I was in when I was younger. And today, what I wanted to do is just share with you guys a few things of what you could do and what you can teach someone else. Like what you could do to work with someone else to help them cope with their depression or cope with their anxiety. And I'm not saying medication is not the way to go, because medication works for other people different kind of ways. And myself, I know with myself taking medication, it is not always the best for me because it makes me feel as though I'm zombified, is that's what I call it, zombified or lethargic, and that's not the way to live your life. However, I do know plenty of people that have been placed on medication that love it, feel like it brings them, to a better, it's not a high, but like to how I explain my depression. And instead of me saying, Mommy, I'm depressed, or Daddy, I'm depressed, I'll say, I can feel my lows coming, because I will feel the lowest in my life. Like, I will literally feel like I am underneath the concrete. That's how I know I am like not well, or I need to start taking my medications again, or I need to just start doing different things to benefit myself. So as I said before, I did want to share with you guys a few things that you can do to help cope with anxiety, to help cope with depression. And I have a few on hand, and I have a few that I had also written down, just because there are more than a million ways that you can do, whether it be in hand, on your phone, on like outside with a friend. There are many things that you can do to help benefit you in living a better life. You don't have to keep that mindset that I'm only going to always be depressed, because you're not. As I said last week, the entire week, all through school, all through work, everything. Both of my jobs, I felt like nothing. I felt like I shouldn't exist. My mom, the crazy thing is, I cried in a furniture store. That's how I knew, like, okay, you're hitting that bottom again. Like, you're hitting that low again. You need to do something to boost yourself back up. You need to figure out what you're gonna do to avoid this. Whether it be take your medication, whether it be use your essential oils, whether it be, you know what I mean? There's always something, like I said, that you can do to help you cope with it, and also help you figure out how to stay out of your lows. Now, the first thing that I wanted to share with you guys was essential oils. Essential oils have been my best friend. My absolute best friend. I use a few different. Now, as I said, there are many different essential oils that you can choose from that fit whatever feeling that you're encountering, whether it be that you're feeling down, whether you're feeling stressed, whether you need energy, whether you need to sleep, etc., etc. And just a few, just to name off, there's eucalyptus, rose, there's sandalwood, there's lemongrass, there's patchouli, there's peppermint tea tree, there's orange, there's basically there's many different to choose from depending on what's going on. Now, what I would say the best thing for you to do, whether it be take a little bit and put it, well, whichever oil that you choose and whichever oil fits for you. You can either take a little bit of the oil and put it on your finger and put it as you would do like perfume, rub it on your arm, or you can rub it behind your ear or rub it under your nose, and it'll give you that little boost. Or what I used to do through my freshman year of college, I would take a coffee filter, cotton balls, a string, and I would take I would take 2 coffee filters, put the cotton balls in it, and I would take at least maybe like 3 drops, depending on my feelings or that day, and put 3 or 4 drops, maybe tie it up, and that would last me all week. If not, it would last me 2 weeks. And I would just keep it around. I would put it in my book bag if I felt bad or if I was feeling down or whatever. I would take it out and I would wave it in front of my face, or I would just take it out and, or excuse me, leave it in my book bag, open my book bag, and then I would smell it. It's a mood enhancer, and that's really what it's for. The one that I'm using currently for my mood changes is orange, and this one is Living Young Vitality, and it's just a great essential oil supplement, and this is what that looks like. It's really tiny. It's nothing like extra. This one really helps for me. It's a little strong, so the 2 to 3 drops may not be the best. You might want to use 1 or maybe 2 depending on how it works for you. And like I said, you can use the cotton ball method, or you can use just the like you would do perfume, and just give it a chance. It's not, and I'm not saying this works for everybody, and no, it may not work for everybody, but give it a chance. It's better for you to give it a chance rather than just be like, I know it's not going to work for me, or that didn't work for so-and-so, so it's not going to work for me, and that's not okay. You know what I mean? This is for you. This is for your health. This is for you to be a better person. It's for you to experience new things. It's for you to change your view on things. It's not just because, oh, so and so said that it doesn't work for them, so why would I try it? Honestly, the diffuser works. The like I said, the little perfume method, the behind the ear, just so it sticks with you. Another thing that I would say is good for you to use, or anyone, excuse me, for that matter, is an activity jar. And I have my activity jar inside of a mason jar, and on my activity jar it just says pick an activity or a piece of advice and that you are strong. And I made this a few years back, and I still use it to this day because it's helpful for me whenever I know that I'm having a bad day or I'm not feeling well, and I always feel like these help me. Now, what I did was take a few different colored pieces of paper, and I kind of shuffle them around every so often, but each one is a little piece of me or something that I like to do, and because it's something that I like to do, I know that it'll change my mood and make me feel a little bit better, whether it be an exercise or it just be a piece of advice, whether it be someone's quote, things like that. And the ones that I have are answer these questions. The first one, answer these questions. And it says, 1, why are you worried? 2, is it worth it? 3, what can you do to prevent it? And honestly, I think those questions are very, 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 very important for anyone to answer whenever there's something going wrong in their life, or if they feel like there's something that they would like to change, or they don't understand how they can change it. Another one that I have is do 20 deep breaths. And another one I have is to smile. And I had a bunch of mirrors up in my dorm room and my room now, and I would always try and like smile through whatever's going on. Another one's write down what's bothering you. Another one is call my uncle and my aunt to have them pray for you. And another one that I have is this too shall pass, read your Bible. These are just a few of them because they're close to my heart, because, you know, that's try calming oil. See? The calming oils is important. Another one is taking take a nap. I don't get that one often. And then call my grandfather. Call grandfather, has his number on there. And these are, like I said, these are near and dear to me. And there are ones that you can't meditate. These, some of them, they can be helpful to someone else. They can be helpful to yourself. You know what I mean? But each one, they're near and dear to my heart because I know these are things that can help me get out of that mood and get out of whatever's going on. And if someone upset me, or even if I've just been depressed for the past few days, I know that these things can possibly help me, or possibly help me figure out what's really going on a deeper scale, rather than just, oh, I just know that I'm not feeling well today, or oh, I just know that I want to sleep. Here are other things that that are good for you to do if the essential oils doesn't work for you, or the activity jar won't work for you. You can always start a journal. You can always work out. Working out is really, 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 really good for mood enhancing. Every time I work out and every time that I'm finished, I always feel like a totally different person. And I'm not saying you have to overexert yourself, but do it to where you're not thinking about what was going on 20-30 minutes ago. You're not thinking about that because it's not a factor. You have something new that's in your life that's taking that place, even for that moment. You know what I mean? And it's still helpful for you. Another thing that you could do is either you can contact someone that is a support system for you. Write a journal. Keeping a journal is very helpful. It can help you acknowledge what's going on in your life, what's bothering you most. Once you write down, you know what I mean, once you write down what's going on or what you've been thinking about, then you can analyze, you can pinpoint exactly what's going on. Okay, this is what's been bothering me. This is how I can avoid it. You know what I mean? Like, you can lay out things for yourself and acknowledge, okay, so this is what was bringing me to the low. This is what was making me so upset. This is what was making me shake in anger. This is what was having me not wanting to leave my room. This was what was making me not wanting to leave my bed. One thing I will say to never do is isolate yourself. Isolating yourself is the most harmful thing that you could do to yourself when you're in that depressive, or you're having an anxiety attack or whatever, you know what I mean? And I only say that it is the most harmful thing that you could do to yourself, because you're not going to be as open to noticing things that are wrong. You're not going to acknowledge them. You're not going to care about them. And not only that, no one else is able to help you if you isolate yourself. Do not be afraid to ever ask for help. And that was my issue when I was younger. That's still my issue, because I want to be independent. But I know that there are some things that I cannot, deal with on my own. Therefore, I need to ask someone else. Therefore, I need to speak to someone else, or even someone that either does know what I'm going through or doesn't know, because I know that they can help me in some way, because it's better for me to speak to them rather than to keep everything to myself and now I'm screwed. Or, you know what I mean? Just a simple fact that things are like that. Another thing that you could do, I would say, would be probably, if you like flowers, pick flowers. Find something that makes you happy. Find something that on a good day would make you happy, whether it's drinking cocoa, whether it's drinking tea, whether it's washing clothes, washing dishes, doing hair, painting your nails, you know what I mean? Try something that will make you smile, because it makes you smile on a normal daily basis, because you would do this if you were in your happy state. Another thing I would definitely say try is listening to classical music. Classical music is like my love. I listen to it when I'm down. I listen to it when I'm happy. I listen to it when I study. I listen to it when I take tests. Like, I'm that kid that will be like, hey, to my professor, can I please listen to music? And they'll be like, I don't really know. I'm like, well, it's for my anxiety, because I do have really bad test anxiety. And I'll be like, hey, it's for my anxiety. Can I please listen to it? Because I know if I don't, I will either panic, I will cry in the middle of an exam. I've had it happen, and I just usually listen to piano opus. And Brian Crane is the man. I would definitely say that. Brian Crane, Rain, Wind, and I think there's another one that I can't think of, but those are like my main ones. And Moonrise. Yeah, Moonrise, and I think Dream of Flying. Those are my main ones of listening to, and Moonlight Sonnet. Yeah. Because, I don't know, I feel, well, I used to play piano when I was younger, so it just reminds me of that, but I'll, like, never be as good as Brian Crane, so I can't really say, but I definitely think that it's helpful for me, and it may be helpful to someone else. And I've even put on a couple people, like my friends, and they'll be like, what are you listening to? And they'll think I'll be listening to some rap music, and I'm like, nah, I'll slide over my phone, Brian Crane. You feel me? Like, it just, I don't know, it brings me to a more stable state of mind. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter whether or not I'm having a good day or a bad day. This is, like, you know what I mean? This is a good thing for me. Yeah. I'm not afraid to help anyone who feels as though they need help or anything, because I know if I was in that kind of situation where I didn't know where to turn or I didn't know what to do, I would need someone to help. I would want someone to help me. And I feel like I should always be that person that someone else can come to, that your next door neighbor may deal with, or the little boy that's up the street, or even your best friend, because sometimes you don't know everything about your best friend, and you won't know that there's something wrong with them either until they say something or until you notice something. And even though you may notice it, they don't know. So it's never good to just assume, or it's also never good just to kind of like beat down their door and say, hey, I know you're depressed, because that's rude. And if they don't acknowledge it, you can't jump on their back and tell them, yo, I know you're depressed, or I see this, because you have to wait for someone to acknowledge it, because anybody can take anything the wrong way, and that's never good. You never want to offend a friend. You never want to offend a person, period. So it's best for you to, you can voice your opinion, but it's all about the way that you do it. Remember, always, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And in that kind of situation, you definitely want to be sensitive on how you say it, unless that person is more open with you and is willing to say, hey, yeah, I think that there is something going on, or, you know what I mean? If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, please do not hesitate to leave them down in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As I said before, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.